5th, 26... That's okay, you may be seated. So church life.
I know.
Yeah, April 5th, 2016. Filling in for Michael again is Anderson Cooper, everybody. Okay.
So happy to be here. It's freezing out. What happened? I thought it was spring already.
I can't... It really is like a slap in the face.
Again, it's the people, the Farmer's Almanac, and the weather people who people never know.
I don't...
How is it in this day and age we can't predict what the weather's going to be?
We should have some of the farmers come here who write the almanac.
If they could ever get time off from the fields and their computer terminals where they're judging the weather 12 years from now.
It's so true.
By the way, I've mentioned the Farmer's Almanac people before, and they wrote me a letter to explain who they are.
Okay, so what did they say?
I didn't actually read the letter.
Okay, but what do you...
yeah, it was, you know, they also sent me a bushel of carrots, which I thought, no, they didn't.
No, that's not funny.
That's funny.
That's actually really funny. I know. No, but so we're so excited.
We're nervous because my mom is here today.
I'm not kidding. I wish you could feel my heartbeat.
I literally just tweeted out, like, I'm oddly nervous. I never get nervous about anything.
You had to see everybody tripping over themselves backstage when Gloria walked backstage. I watched Lori Schulweis, who is naturally, you trip over things a lot, but you instead of tripping over something, she just fell sideways. She just fell over sideways.
My mom shows she's wearing gold sneakers today.
I like them.
I know. I like the
great.
sneakers. The sneakers are cool.
She's super chic and so gorgeous.
She's very chic. But
and we went to the premiere of the movie last night.
We shot a documentary for HBO that's going to be on the Saturday about my mom called Nothing Left Unsaid, and the premiere was last night, and they had a screening of it, and you were very sweet to come.
It is an incredible documentary, if I can brag for a minute.
Well, you can brag.
I'm telling you, you both are so fascinating.
My mom has been storing stuff in storage for like 40 years, and I've been worrying about this because of all the money that's wasted on this storage unit. And literally, that's why I have this worry line since I was 10 years old. I've been worrying about this. So pretty much every free moment, every day I'm free, I go to this storage unit and I go through boxes. That's how I spent the last 30 years, which is why I'm so pale, because I'm not out in the sun. And what's amazing about the storage unit is, like, you open up one box and it's a chandelier. You open up another box and it's cornflakes from 1953. And $10,000 has been spent to store this box of cornflakes because no one has ever gone through this stuff.
Right.
So I've been going through this stuff, and it ended up all these kind of secrets came pouring out of these boxes of letters, you know, from Howard Hughes and Frank Sinatra. And I started all these things I didn't know about my mom. I was like, Mom, you dated Frank Sinatra?
Right.
And now I knew why she got all misty every time he sang, because, you know, So we started shooting this film about her, and it's an incredible film. And then we wrote this book because I just think it's so important for people to talk to their parents, particularly if you have an aging parent, before it's too late, and to kind of learn who they are as an adult, and even for a parent to learn who their adult child is, because, you know, oftentimes your relationship doesn't change as you grow older. So we wrote this book, The Rainbow Comes and Goes, which is a conversation.
It is an incredible book. I have to tell you, I've been reading it with my daughter at night, and we usually, like, she'll take the role of Anderson, and I'll be Gloria.
It's a conversation between my mom and I that we had over email from her 91st birthday to her 92nd birthday.
It doesn't read like email, though. It reads like a conversation, and it really is it's so terrific. And I have to tell you, you are giving me something that I don't think you're aware of, that my daughter and I are spending time together in a way that she would ordinarily reject from me, but because it's you and your mom, she's willing to endure her own mother. So it's really, really nice.
It's really just, I mean, I think it's just about changing the conversation, you know, kind of putting aside all the old, like, resentment or embarrassment. You know, we were all embarrassed by our parents at one time or another, or resentful, or there's weird issues. It's about putting that aside and just learning about this person in a new way. And you know, it was the most important year of my life doing this, because I learned about my mom, but also learned about myself in ways you know, I had no idea. But my mom was funny too. When we were doing this, at one point she decided she didn't want to write anymore. She just wanted to talk on the phone and have me write it all out. It was a little aggressive, passive-aggressive, frankly. And we did that for like a day, and she said, you know, I love talking to you, especially when it's about me. I was like, yeah. The words have never been spoken.
I love it though. And the documentary is also so much. You know, I learned so much about you from watching that documentary.
It's cool. I mean, my mom has lived so many different lives and sort of inhabited so many different skins, and you know, people know her. They think they know the name Gloria Vanderbilt, but they really don't know the story of who she is. So anyway, you'll get to see a little bit of that today.
So many people, I just learned because I had Instagrammed that I had been reading this book and how fascinating it is for me, and I've known you for so long, and I really consider you my dearest friend, and so so many people responded by saying, I didn't know that Gloria Vanderbilt was Anderson's mom, because you keep everything so, you know.
Well, it was weird, because when I first started out in work, I didn't want people kind of to know, like, I was happy my last name was Cooper. I didn't want people to assume, like, that, you know, I was from this family and that, you know, there was that I was just dabbling in my career. You know, I wanted people to take me seriously, and so now I'm at the stage where, you know, I'm like, well, my mom called me a couple years ago, and she said, I'm thrilled. Somebody referred to me as Anderson Cooper's mom, as opposed to the other way around.
See, that's where you and I are different. Like, when I make dinner reservations, it's usually like I'm Mrs. Anderson Cooper. Like, I drop your name. I will drop your name.
Sure. Well,
anyway.
We've got a great show. Cameron Diaz is also here today.
Yes, she's here tonight, too. Yeah. Very big. Very big. Hey, speaking of big, did you see the big game last night?
Oh, the game.
Yeah, the game.
We were talking about this on the show, if you didn't see it yesterday. I don't understand when people say the game. I don't know how they know what game we're talking about, because every time I turn around the channels, there's like 50 channels with sports on, none of which I watch, but all different games playing.
Right.
There's a bowling tournament. Maybe that was the big game yesterday.
No. The big game is, remember we were talking about
it was March Madness.
Yes,
the brackets. My team did great. The Howlers. No, I don't know. Who played yesterday?
I don't know. Here's what I know.
Well, look, there was another game that was supposed to be yesterday, the baseball game, that got rained out. But now today got moved to today, but now it's going to be frozen out. I mean, it's going to, but everybody's got to sit there in the cold.
It's so cold.
So yesterday there was that game, but there was also supposed to be a baseball game. So if we had said about the game yesterday, how would people have known whether we were talking about the baseball game or the basketball game?
How do we know that? Is there?
How do guys know this?
Is there guys that follow sports? Are you here? Yes, you. Are you following sports? Yes.
How do you know which game it is?
Well, the Yankees got rained out.
No, but if they didn't say, and we were to turn to you and say, did you see that game?
Well, if you're in New York, the Yankees, you know, season opener, that's big.
That's the game.
For the rest of the country.
All right. Oh, so it's regional. So if I was in a place where the Howlers were performing, or whatever the team is called.
Not the Howlers.
And you don't really...
Not the Howlers. I'm going to tell you.
It's the Villanova...
It's Villanova.
The Villanova Big Shots. Wildcats. I knew it was something like that. I knew it was something about wild or crazy or howling or... I'm terrible. I'm really terrible. I cannot... I once did a newscast at ABC years and years ago when I first started out. I was just starting out as a news anchor. I'd always been in the field. And the first night I did it, no one told me I had to actually do sports. I had to, like, read the sports segment. And it suddenly came up on the teleprompter, and I panicked because I literally know nothing about sports. I don't know who these people are. I don't know how to say their names. So I was like, Mike Pizza from the New York Mez. I mean, I was really troubled. They ended up putting a counterclock of how many names I mauled on the sportscast. It became like a running gag on the show.
But if you don't know, I mean, you have lots of other gifts and talents. I mean,
I miss this gene somehow. Yeah. No. I think if I knew their backstory, like if I knew that, you know,
if you knew where they came from,
it was like a reality show, then I would be interested.
Right. You know? No, I get it. But what you should know is that Villanova won by a three-point shot.
By a three-pointer. Yeah.
We have a clip? Oh, we have a clip. Okay, we have a clip. So what?
To the court with Archidiakono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
Okay, that's exciting. I would be into that.
So exciting.
And that guy was crying, which makes me emotional. I would be into that.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the thing. That's
if I only knew who that person was.
Right.
Yeah. He seemed very engaged.
He was probably, maybe he's a parent of one of the kids.
I think his son was playing.
Probably.
That's what I like.
Or maybe is he a coach?
I always create a backstory for everything. Like, I'll see people like in the airport, and I just create stories about them.
This is why you're such a good writer.
Well, no, but like, I'm like, oh, that person's going to see their mother who they haven't seen in 17 years, and it's a very exciting trip. I don't know why. This is how I spend my time. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
My son, I woke up this morning and Joaquin had a Villanova baseball cap on, and I said, where'd you get that? And his babysitter went to Villanova and she brought him a cap for good luck.
That's
and
cool.
He went to bed. He had no idea they won. And I said, I think they won. And then I was like, I better not say that. What if they didn't win? But then it was everywhere. Did you see the big game? It was everywhere.
Now, do streamers come down at all the games like that? Because that's the other thing I was just impressed watching that. That looks like fun. That looks like a party. I would like to watch that.
Well, we have streamers here. You don't think this is a big party?
No, I think it is fun, but I would like a game where streamers come down. Does it come down? Does it come down every time a basket is scored that streamers come down? Because that's fun.
You're asking the wrong. You're asking the person that cannot answer this. Do streamers come down?
No.
Just once in a while.
Because I grew up in New York City, and my mom's totally not into sports. My dad was not into sports at all. He once tried to take me out to the park to play baseball. Literally could not throw a ball. He threw a ball like a girl, and I was like, Dad, even I know that's embarrassing. And I had to get another dad of a friend of mine to go out and, like, because I bought a mitt, and I was told if you, like, put the ball in the mitt and you slept with it.
Right.
And I did this for months, and then I realized, why do I really need a mitt that's broken in? Because I'm not actually playing baseball. Like, all my friends had one, and I thought I kind of needed one.
Well, it's part of the thing.
Yeah, but you wanted to, I don't know. I literally was sleeping on this mitt. I was like, what are we in the 17th century? Is this really how you break in a mitt these days?
We found out that our son needed glasses.
Not that they played baseball in the 17th century.
Maybe they did.
Maybe. Sorry, you found out?
No, we found out that Michael, our son, needed glasses because when he was little, I think he was like 7 years old, Mark, like, took him to Central Park to go throw the ball around, and Mark threw the ball at him, and it hit him right in the face.
No, really?
And I was like, didn't you see the ball? He's like, I really didn't. I really didn't see the ball coming. And then we found out he needed glasses.
Wow.
So he not only, I know, he got glasses. You know?
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Any day now, you're going to get glasses.
Any day now.
It's been 10 years, but he's finally earned those
we
glasses.
thought you should train your eyes to not need that, is what they said.
I was stunned when I didn't need glasses until I was like 41. I was always one of those people like, oh no, my eyes are perfect. Turns out my eyes aren't perfect at all.
Right.
And when you're 41 or whatever, your eyes weaken so that whatever the imperfection is, you can't compensate for any longer.
Well, I think I've needed glasses my whole life, but my mom sort of has really been in denial about, like, my mom's not big into medical attention. She likes to go into...
She's not big into... I mean, she doesn't believe in, like, going to doctors?
Not really. She'd much rather diagnose herself by WebMD. And so... And I'm her co-doctor. So she'll call me and say, I'm going to send you a picture of something. Tell me what you think. And I'm like, wait, stop, time out. What is it? Is it you or Dad before you send me anything? Right. Anyway, but I thought I needed glasses years ago, and she's like, you just need to retrain your eyes. So, yeah. So one day, I basically walked into a door, and Mark's like, I think it's time to have that conversation.
How did she suggest you retrain your eyes?
She just thought that if I just didn't use glasses, my eye muscles would become stronger. And not need glasses. As it turns out, I learned from my son's eye doctor that really glasses are very necessary for muscles that are weakening, in fact.
That's true. Well, my doctor told me I have something called astigmatism in my eye. I don't know what it is. He's explained it to me every time, and every time I've fallen asleep in the second sentence because I don't understand, and I don't even know how to really say it. I don't know if it's a stigmatism or I have a stigma or what it is.
All of it.
But so every now and then, like, someone will say, what's wrong with your eyes? And I'm like, oh, I have a astigmatism. As if, and I just pretend I know what it is. So I don't know what astigmatism is.
My eye has a stigma.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Hey, it's time for Happy Dance Travel.
Already?
Travel Trivia. Already.
No, but wait a minute. Gosh, it's a shame. We do have a big big show today. We want to get ready to it. I wanted to give you, yesterday was National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
I love peanut butter and jelly.
I know, but that's why I got you a sandwich here. Here, you can eat it.
Oh, thank you.
Eat it during trivia.
Thank you.
That's for you. Is it good?
Oh, of course.
This is the staple of his diet.
I love peanut butter and jelly. I just rediscovered it again like a year ago, and I have it. I order in hotels off the kids menu, which is a little creepy and weird.
And because you pretend you have a child.
Because otherwise I feel like they think I'm cheap and I'm just intentionally ordering the cheap stuff off the kids menu. But there's nothing better than peanut butter and jelly.
Do you understand his mentality that he creates a fake family and talks to them over the phone like...
It's true.
Scotty, what do you want?
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly. Okay, all right. We're going to go to it. You ready?
From Bracken County, Kentucky.
Hey,
excellent.
Good job.
Nice job,
that was
Carly.
great. That's a song we haven't played very often here, if ever. That was exciting.
I don't know that song.
Yes, you do know that song.
I don't, because I stay in my house and watch TV.
You and I have danced to that song.
Really?
Yes. Baby. Hey, we're going to save it for when your mom...
a little early for that.
We're going to save it for when your mom comes out.
Oh, yeah, let's save it for when my mom comes out.
Hey, Mary Russell's on the phone from San Diego, California. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Hi, good morning, Kelly and Anderson.
Wow, where's this picture taken? It looks like you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, having a lot of fun. It was a Romanian dancing at a Romanian cotillion.
Wow, a Romanian cotillion. That's cool.
It's very fun.
What happens at a Romanian cotillion?
Well, that's when the girls are presented to society, and then we have a nice dance and a party, and it's very formal and very fun.
Oh,
that's very nice.
Lovely. Was it your daughter who was being presented?
No, it wasn't. It was a friend's daughter.
Cool.
Oh, great.
Excellent.
Well, listen, we're going to spin the wheel and see what you're playing for, okay?
Okay, great.
Here's a great prize, the Fairmont Mayakoba Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico. That was amazing. We missed it on camera, too. Look at how in sync we are. 7 days and 6 nights. It includes what? All meals.
What?
What? Hey, raised the roof. A private boat tour.
What?
This trip is provided in part by Hotels.com. We're not sure who provides the other part. It's a prize valued at $7,500. You have 20 seconds and only one guess, Mary. Good luck.
All right, on yesterday's show, we talked with Scandal star Darby Stanchfield. What did Darby say her father does for a living?
Oh, he is a commercial fisherman.
Yes!
Congratulations, you and a guest will enjoy 7 days and 6 nights at the Fairmont Mayakoba Resort on the Riviera Maya in Mexico. The magic of the Mayan culture intertwines with world-class facilities at the AAA 5-Diamond and Rainforest Alliance verified resort. Enjoy Richard Sandoval's creative cuisine at 4 renewed restaurants, on-property boat tours, the Willow Stream Spa, and El Camaleon, the only course in Mexico to host an official PGA Tour event. Your prize is valued at approximately $7,500.
Hey, Mary, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
Now you get to help make the day of a lucky member of our studio audience who will receive a 5-year subscription to Netflix with a streaming device. What? You don't give away things like this on CNN, do you?
No.
That's right.
We gotta start competing with this.
It's valued at more than $500.
It's a great gift.
It sure is. So please pick a number between 1 and 157, Mary.
17.
Coming up next, Ben Falcone is here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Still ahead on Live, we'll talk with Anderson's mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, about their...
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, this is exciting to have you here. I know you started, did you start in the Groundlings?
I did, yeah. That's where I met Melissa.
You met Melissa, yeah.
Yeah, we met in a writing class.
No kidding.
She was pretty, and she was the funniest one.
The Groundlings is an improv comedy.
That's right. In Los Angeles, it's a sketch comedy group.
So many great careers have been launched from there.
Yeah.
In the meantime, when you were trying to break into the business, like we always have stories of people doing like crazy, odd jobs, strange things. Did you do anything?
I was a waiter for a long time.
Where were you a waiter?
I was a waiter at California Pizza Kitchen.
I love California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
The Chinese chicken salad is
the Thai chicken
good.
pizza.
Well, we don't have to fight about it. You don't need to fight.
What?
You can have both. There's such a selection at CPK.
So what goes on behind the scenes at CPK?
Well, in my case, I worked there for 7 years and was suddenly fired.
Wait, why were you suddenly fired?
Well, okay. We had a big rush that came right before the movies, right? And there's this thing called secret shoppers. Do you guys know what this is? A secret shopper.
Right. They send in.
They send in people who are pretending to be customers, right? So, but they're not. What they're doing is they're judging you. So at CPK, you're supposed to go through a sequence of service and say like, so if I were waiting on you two, I would say, you know, I wouldn't just say, oh, can I get you something to drink? I'd have to say, would you like a delicious iced tea or perhaps some spinach artichoke dip?
Oh,
I love the spinach artichoke dip.
Well, see, it works.
You're upselling.
It works. Yeah, you have to upsell. That's part of it.
Because whenever I go there, I mysteriously end up not just with my favorite Thai chicken pizza, but I get like a dip and I get a salad. I end up being like, I don't even remember really ordering this. I've been upsold.
It works like a charm. You've been upsold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So why did you get fired?
Well, I had 4 tables and it was very busy, so they got split into 8 tables, and my secret shoppers were my 8th table.
Oh no.
So I didn't come to them fast enough. I didn't offer them, you know, I think I said, do you want some drinks? You know.
You're all sweaty.
Yeah. And so then the guy called me, the manager, and you know, their policy was, so to fire me, he has to say, you know, you didn't do very well in your report. I'm like, well, what did I get? You got a 36.
Out of 100?
Out of 100.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, it would have been better if it was out of 37. I would have been fine.
And your first job on camera was in...
the Weird Al Yankovic show.
Oh, the Weird Al Yankovic show.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Well, Melissa got me the job. She worked in production. She was a production manager for that show. And so I think they needed to hit a golf ball off someone's head. And she said, I know a guy who'll do that.
No kidding.
Well, we actually found that clip.
You did not.
Yeah, we did. Because we heard about this, and I know you or somebody, one of your people said, "There's no way you'll ever find this." We found this clip. Let's take a look.
Have you been injured lately? Hit by a car? Slipped and fallen? Eaten lead paint? I will make sure that you receive the cash settlement you are entitled to.
Larry H. Finkelstein got me $2.7 million.
That was my first acting job.
No, it's exactly your SAG card, or what is it?
Yeah, it must have, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
so now,
from there I began.
So you and Melissa have 2 daughters.
That's right.
And now they're going into show business, or they're in this movie?
Well, they're in the movie.
Right.
The older one, Vivian, she's 8. She actively campaigned to be in the movie, and Melissa and I both were like, well, let's wait, let's think about it. And she finally says to Melissa, can I not at least try?
Wow.
Instant victory. Of course you can try. And then she did a really good job. And Melissa was like, well, sometimes it's hard, and you know, this and that. And so she got her way in. And then the little one said, if the big one's doing it, I'm doing it. And that was just it. But I actually messed up Vivian's process. It's because she plays an orphan who's being returned to an orphanage, and she just didn't seem like herself. You know, I was like, do you need a snack? Do you want something? What can I get you? And she goes, Daddy, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just trying to remember that Michelle's probably really upset right now, and you're trying to make me not upset, so it's just making it harder for me to be upset. And I was like, my daughter's method. My daughter's a method actor. I gotta get out of here.
And you co-wrote, you produced, and you directed this film.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's exhausting, I would think.
It was a little, but it's really fun too.
Because they do have other people who can do at least one of those things. Like we did. Do it all.
Well, we surrounded ourselves with a really great crew and all those producer people and everything, so we were okay.
But do the other actors feel like Melissa's getting special treatment?
Yes, because she was. No. No, No, I think Melissa's so, you know, you guys have met her, and she's such a kind and nice person that on set, you know, she's just like, she wants to have as much fun as everybody else. So it's like we try to create a really family vibe.
I can't wait to see the movie. And she's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And The Boss opens Friday, so make sure you check out Ben Falcone and The Boss and the kids and Melissa, by the way. Thank you for being here.
Cameron Diaz is next. Cameron Diaz is here. Beautiful Cameron Diaz.
For you over there.
I know, but
you're over here.
You know what, though? I have to say, it's freezing in New York.
Cold.
But you are like a ray of California sun.
Yeah.
You really are.
I love it.
Have you adjusted? Because you live in New York now, don't you?
No, I live in LA, and I came in Saturday Saturday night. But
how do you deal with the
California
cold?
Is really hot. I love the cold.
Do you?
What? I love the cold.
What is the matter with
I'm from California, and in California, all we get is sunshine all day long, every single day. I know. It's so annoying.
That's very
Seriously. It really is annoying. I feel like I live on the sun. I'm like, is this the sun? Like, is this where I live?
Yeah.
It's insane. But so I love the cold and the crisp, and like you get to be cozy.
Oh my gosh, polar vortex is my homie.
Totally. I was here actually. I think last time was a polar vortex. When I did the body book, it was a polar vortex.
We rolled them out for you. We know you like it. So you got married since last time you were here.
My hubby.
Benji Madden.
He's just the most delicious, the most wonderful, lovely human being on the face of the planet. I'm so lucky. He's
so
just
nice.
a dear.
How did you guys meet?
We met through, actually, his sister-in-law and brother were friends of mine.
Okay.
And I knew him for a couple years, and then he just sort of ended up coming over to my house for a little party, and I was like, huh.
Oh, cool.
That one.
I kind of like the way you got married, too. It was very low-key, right?
We did it really low-key. We just did it in our living room. And yeah, we did. We did it in front of our, in our living room in front of our friends.
You're talking about getting married, yes?
Yes, our nuptials.
Right, okay.
So we just did it there, and we went, sorry.
It's oddly warm in here.
Are you okay?
My mom's here. I'm all perplexed. Anyway.
Way to go. You guys are making
But you
me
were,
laugh.
before your huge success as an actress, you started out as a model.
I did.
When you were like 17?
A wee bitty girl, yeah. When I was 17, I started modeling.
I think we have a 17 magazine cover that you did.
Wait, so you were 17 on the cover of 17?
I was. That's amazing. And it came out actually I did it in my senior year of high school, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want anybody to see it.
Again, you're talking about modeling.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was afraid. I was like, everybody's going to see that I modeled, and they're going to think that I think that, I was just so scared of like everybody seeing me modeling because I didn't tell anybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
your friends must have freaked out though when you're suddenly on the cover of 17.
What happened? Wait, what? But it was just after graduation,
Oh, okay.
so I kind of like slipped out, and
That's
then
great.
You really look exactly the same. Like
Yeah,
you really
almost.
No,
yeah.
I'm telling you, you look great.
Actually, I look at it and I think it's my niece. I'm always like, wow, that's so crazy how family resemblance.
No kidding, your niece
is,
looks like that now.
Exactly.
Wow.
We got to take a quick break. We're going to have more with Cameron Diaz when we come back.
I realized that we're all so scared of aging, and we think of it as this ugly, scary thing to do. And I started thinking, why? Why are we so afraid of it? And I realized it's because we don't know anything about aging. We don't actually know what aging is. So I called up my writing partner, Sandra Bark, who I wrote the body book with, and I said...
Which is a great book.
Thank you. And these two really go hand in hand, the information in it, because basically I just wanted to know what happens to us on a cellular level as we age. So, because everything starts with our cells. We are trillions of cells.
Right.
And so if you're seeing wrinkles on the outside, that must mean there's something actually happening internally, because everything is cells.
So you talk about the 5 secrets to a long and healthy life.
The 5 pillars of well-being are good nutrition, good physical activity, good rest, stress release, and meaningful, loving relationships. So that's basically, to me, life, right? That's what we all do every day. Is we eat, we sleep, we move our bodies, we connect with the people we love, we try to blow off a little steam. So how do you do it well? How do you do it the best that you can so that you can get ahead of aging? Because aging is, by definition, a decline. You know, it's you decline in health as you get older. So if you know what those things are, what possibly could happen to you, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to get osteoporosis or diabetes or heart disease or high blood pressure. Not everybody gets it, but usually you don't get it when you get ahead of it and you know what you're looking for and how to maintain the body that you're going to take this journey in. So
if there's one thing, like, out of the 5 things, can you get by with, like, one of them not being so great, like sleep?
For a period of time, but sleep is really, really important. Sleep is the only time that your brain has an opportunity to cleanse itself. You know, our bodies can cleanse itself through sweating, through urination, through all these other things, and through nutrition. Exactly, nutrition and physical activity. Your body can regenerate, but sleep is the only time that your brain can actually clean itself, and it needs to get deep rest. Deep sleep, REM.
Our brains are filthy.
But by the way, that's another thing to realize as you get older, because dementia is also an age-related disease, and your brain does suffer from not getting enough sleep.
Well,
all right,
congratulations on the book. It is a longevity book. It's everywhere books are sold. It's available starting today. Coming up next, my mom, Gloria Vanderbilt, is here.
This is so exciting.
I know.
Well, her life and family hold a unique place in American history, but she also happens to be Anderson's
I can't
mom.
believe my mom is here.
I know. Please welcome the incredible Gloria Vanderbilt.
This is so weird to have you here.
Well, it's sort of weird to be here with you because I watch you on television all the time.
I know.
And I'm glued, and now here I am glued with you.
Well, you know, Anderson said something that was so interesting. I read it in the book, and I saw it in the documentary, that you've literally been famous for 92 years, since the day you were born.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that was so interesting to me about my mom, is that she's been famous longer than really anyone else, I think, alive today. But what's interesting is you don't think of yourself as famous.
I don't think of myself in that way at all.
You have no idea of, like, what...
No concept of that at all.
You just don't pay attention to it.
Well, I early on stopped reading. I don't read anything about myself. I do occasionally look at photographs because, you know, one's a girl, a woman, and you kind of like to look
pretty. I like your gold slip, your gold sneakers.
They really are fantastic.
They are so comfortable.
Yeah.
They're great.
Look at them in comparison to Kelly's. They're so great.
These are a much better choice.
Well, these are much more for jumping over the moon and so forth.
So we started writing this book.
Yeah.
When I approached you about doing the book, neither of us thought it was going to be a book.
No, it just sort of started off really with us emailing each other back and forth. And then I think one of us said something that we thought was rather catchy or witty.
It was sort of like writing a message in a bottle and sending it off and then getting a response
Well,
back.
it's interesting, too, because you go into early aspects of your life, things that I didn't know about, that I'm sure you learned about as well. I mean, also, Anderson was talking about just finding out about, and I'm going to make you so uncomfortable, finding out about all of your past loves and all of the men that you dated that he had no idea that you had dated.
Tell people some of the guys you dated.
Well, they all became dear friends, which is a great thing to have happen, so that when you part, you remain lifelong friends often.
But some of them where you only were dating for a short period of time.
Oh, very short, yeah.
Like, I mean, there was Frank Sinatra.
Well, I went to Hollywood when I was 17 and started dating Errol Flynn. That was very brief. But I was so goggle-eyed at 17. I was so movie-struck, and these were like gods to me, you know, because all my life as a child I'd grown up seeing them in the movies, and suddenly here I was, and they were looking at me and asking me out. And
it was Howard Hughes. You almost got married to.
He was the best.
He was the best.
The best boyfriend?
No, the most of the ones that meant the most to me.
Yeah. And this was Howard Hughes, I mean, long before the end. Like, this was like when he was like Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Howard Hughes. Like young, handsome.
Well, better.
Better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really better.
And what was Frank Sinatra like?
Frank Sinatra's the greatest friend.
Yeah.
Great, you know, to be with. I mean, he was kind of just the most amazing person in my life, because he came along at a time when I thought I was sort of trapped in a marriage I didn't want to be in. And
he helped you move on.
And I thought the man I was married to was God, and that he would never let me go. And then Frank Sinatra came along and called Julie Stein and asked if because we didn't know each other, if he could ask me out for dinner. And I said yes, and then I just was free. That was it.
We got to take a short break. We're going to have more of my mom when we come.
Tomorrow on Live, David Duchovny, and also from The Jungle Book, Jon Favreau.
I think my dad helped my mom learn what a parent was supposed to do and see what a relationship with the children could be like.
When you were born, I was sure it was going to be a girl.
You really wanted a girl?
Oh! I was meant to have daughters.
I won't take it personally. That's from a new documentary that's coming on HBO on Saturday, April 9th, called Nothing Left Unsaid. So what do you hope people, the book we wrote, The Rainbow Comes and Goes, which just came out today, what do you hope people get out of it?
Well, I hope that they will be able to speak in a totally free way with people they love, either a parent, a child, a friend, a lover, a sister, a brother, and to really be able to have a conversation and tell how you feel without feeling resentment or getting involved in sort of tangents of anger. And I think it's very hard to do that, but it's a great gift.
You never really had that with your mom. I mean, you were raised by your mom, who was taken away from you by the courts. I mean, it's such an incredible story, and we're going to have more of this after the show on a special web episode. But you really didn't have that ability to have that kind of conversation with your mom.
No, I never. Well, she was 17 when she got married, and she was 18 when I was born. And of course, all she wanted to do really was have a good time, which, you know, at 18 one really does want to do. And then we were separated, and so I never ever was able to have that kind of conversation with her ever.
So how did you learn about parenting? I mean, since you were raised by your nurse.
By my nurse and my grandmother Morgan. And my grandmother Morgan was really like, I called her Nanny Napoleon, because she was very strong-willed, and she was really like a father figure to me.
She was also obsessed with Napoleon Bonaparte.
Obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And patterned her, very much patterned her life.
She wanted to be Napoleon.
She wanted to be Napoleon, yes.
Wow.
And if she wanted something, she got it. She really did. And she was kind of like the father, so to speak, in my world. And then the nanny, the nurse, was my adored mother.
Well, all of this is in the book, and it's a book really about changing the conversation you have with a parent or a loved one, and doing it in a way that kind of frees you from a lot of the past resentment and stuff.
And it's an incredible book. You both are such good writers. It's an incredible book. Make sure you also see the documentary, Nothing Left Unsaid, of the great Gloria Vanderbilt.
Back in a moment.
We'll be right back.
Full wife up here cooking, but I have to tell you,